Welcome back to Quality Silent Films, where the flickering shadows of the past bring back memories of laughter and creativity. Picture this, it's 1918, a time of change as the Great War wraps up, and people are flocking to theaters to escape into comedy. That year, Charles Chaplin was at the peak of his fame, Harold Lloyd was just starting to explore his iconic, glasses, character, and Larry Semon was busy crafting elaborate comic spectacles at Vitagraph Studios. It was in this vibrant cinematic landscape that Bears and Bad Men made its debut, directed and starred in by Semon himself. This slapstick gem featured a mix of quirky elements, warring families, a mischievous bear named Bessie, and a young talent on the rise, Stan Laurel. Released by Vitagraph in October 1918, this short film was a two-reeler, running just shy of 20 minutes, yet it packed the lively energy of a full-length feature. Semon was famous for his over-the-top stunts and grand visual setups, and he infused that signature style into this project. Alongside him were Madge Kirby, who added a touch of charm to the visual chaos, Blanche Payson, who brought a commanding presence to her comedic role, William McCall, a dependable member of Semon's crew, and even May Laurel, Stan's partner in both life and film, making a brief appearance. Interestingly, this short also credited animals in the cast, with Brownie and Bessie the bears listed, a nod to the fact that slapstick comedy often thrived on the unpredictability of its co-stars. The tale unfolds like a charming old fable, a rivalry between country families, already larger than life, disrupted by the arrival of a bear. Out of this chaos, comedy emerges, with the characters' dignity and safety always hanging in the balance. But beneath the slapstick and frenetic action lies a deeper message: how quickly our petty disputes fade when faced with the unpredictability of nature. This theme resonated in 1918, a time when audiences were dealing with the aftermath of war and the influenza pandemic, finding laughter as a way to cope. So, keep your eyes peeled. Look for Laurel, still years away from his iconic partnership with Hardy, experimenting with bits of physical comedy that foreshadow his future brilliance. Watch Semon, at the peak of his talent, crafting slapstick routines as if he were directing a circus. And above all, take in the sheer extravagance of a short film. Vitagraph granted Semon incredible freedom and budgets, which he transformed into wild spectacles. Stay with us after the film wraps up, as we dive into the production history, the incredible cast, and the film's significance in the world of silent comedy. For now, let the flickering screen transport you back to 1918, to a rustic feud, two extraordinary comic talents, and a bear that steals the spotlight. Enjoy Bears and Bad Men with the fresh insights that history provides. When the final intertitle fades and the applause, whether silent or just in our heads, lingers in the air, what do we take away from it all? Bears and Bad Men leaves us with a delightful sense of chaos, rural feuds blown out of proportion, a slapstick energy that's infectious, and those moments when animals steal the show in the most unexpected ways. The overall vibe is one of wild joy mixed with a hint of danger, as if chaos itself donned a wig and a mustache to join the fun. Larry Semon, who was born in 1889 and passed away in 1928, was anything but a quiet artist. He evolved from vaudeville and cartoons into a silent film visionary known for his spectacular style. He was notorious for insisting on practical stunts, elaborate sets, and a flair for the extravagant, sometimes spending more on his short films than many full-length features. His life was a whirlwind of bold ambition. He even created his own comics, which shaped his unique approach to staging. However, later in life, despite his early triumphs, he faced challenges with financial missteps and studio politics, leading to a career that ended far too soon. Bears and Bad Men represents the height of his creativity, when Vitagraph still believed in him and he was redefining what a short comedy could achieve. Stan Laurel, born in 1890 in England and who later passed away in California in 1965, stands on the brink of his extraordinary career in this film. Before he and Hardy became the legendary duo we know today, he was honing his comedic timing, learning from more established comic figures, and appearing in shorts like this one to shape his on-screen persona. Coming from a theatrical family and having worked with Fred Karno's troupe, these early Semon films served as a crucial training ground for him. In Bears and Bad Men, you can catch a glimpse of Laurel's budding comic instincts, a fishing gag, a bit of clumsiness, and a physical surprise, that hint at the mastery he would later achieve. Madge Kirby may not be a household name today, but she often played the girl in many silent comedies, providing a steady presence that balanced out the visual antics of male comedians. Blanche Payson, with her impressive height, became the go-to actress for strong, authoritative comedic roles. Her stature and commanding presence made her unforgettable, even in supporting parts. William McCall, often credited as Billy McCall, was one of Semon's favorite ensemble actors, known for his knack for pratfalls and playing the perfect foil. Pete Gordon, while not as well documented, showed up in several short comedies of his time, often brought in for his energetic and versatile performances. May Laurel, also known as May Dahlberg and Stan's common-law wife, makes a brief appearance here, linking his personal life to the film's production. One intriguing note from the era: Bears and Bad Men faced censorship cuts. The Chicago Board of Censors demanded the removal of a scene in Reel 1 where a man looks at a goat and then moves it after water spills from a bucket, just a small but telling example of how even comedic absurdity was monitored back in 1918. The film is also noted in catalogs as having been copyrighted on September 29, 1918, and released on October 7, 1918, with a runtime of 2 reels. This short film didn't get the same level of attention as feature films, but the reviews and modern takes on it show a mixed bag of opinions. Some critics today mention that while it may not be a classic, it definitely entertains with its stunts and a bear chase, and Laurel shines in scenes like the fishing segment. On the flip side, some parts come off as a bit rough or repetitive, yet the film's energy and fresh ideas keep it moving. The inclusion of animals, 2 bears named Bessie and Brownie, along with the grand physical comedy, makes it both a curiosity and a spectacle. When it comes to its legacy and preservation, Bears and Bad Men has survived when many other films have faded away. It's part of the Laurel or Hardy, early solo films Blu-ray collection, which has been beautifully restored from 2K high-definition scans of archival materials by Lobster Films, complete with a new musical score by Eric Le Guin. The fact that we have a clean, watchable version today is a real win for archivists and silent film lovers. Here are some surprising production details. There were actually 2 bears in the cast, Bessie and Brownie, an impressive acknowledgement for animal actors back in 1918. Although no cinematographer is listed in the catalogs, the film's visual clarity and staging hint at a skilled camera crew and a distinct style at Vitagraph. This film is the second of 3 that Semon worked on with Laurel in 1918, and records indicate it was released just 2 weeks after Huns and Hyphens, showcasing Semon's rapid production schedule. There were even rumors that Semon felt uneasy if Laurel stole too many laughs, leading him to cut down Laurel's screen time in later projects, though that's still just speculation. In its historical backdrop, Bears and Bad Men comes to life at a time when America was craving a bit of lightheartedness. The year 1918 marked the final stretch of the war, the onset of the Spanish flu, and a wave of social unrest. In such a turbulent environment, comedy shorts offered a much-needed escape. While many films from that era leaned towards urban or domestic narratives, Semon chose to set his story in a rural feud, spiced up with a dose of animal antics, transforming everyday squabbles into over-the-top farce. The central theme, how trivial human conflicts can crumble in the face of greater forces, like a bear, in this case, feels surprisingly relevant today, especially in our unpredictable times. If you take a moment to study the film, pay attention to how Laurel evolves from just a supporting jester to a budding star in his own right. Observe how Semon's direction captures grand slapstick moments in extended takes, allowing the action to breathe. And don't overlook the scale. For a short film, it truly aims for a sense of spectacle. Thank you for spending time with us here at Quality Silent Films. We hope you enjoyed rediscovering Bears and Bad Men and the world it captures. Join us again for more full-length classics, always paired with the stories, history, and humanity behind them. After all, the production was full of chaos, but honestly, the bear was the only one who could keep the plot from unbearably unraveling. Until next time, may the flicker of silent cinema always keep your imagination alive.